Welcome. If you observe here, we are always repeating this URL and we can do something like this. Configure the URL as a variable and then access it whenever we want, wherever we want. So let's go ahead and do that. In this also we are hard coding or having the URL here. So in Postman, you can click on this new and click on new environment. Basically new environment and click here and create add. We can create a global variable or also this variable. So for now I will create a new environment called, let's say, test, and we'll create a variable called base underscore URL. And what we can do is we can say initial value as localhost 8080, copy that and paste it here. And this is creating a variable. Make sure to save it. Once you save it, then we can go ahead and from the drop down choose that environment test, and then it will be active. And what we can do now is instead of using this value, get rid of this and we just say double quotes base underscore URL similarly and click on save. If you hover, it also shows you that, and then here also we will change it, save it. So now for, let's say, if we create a new API endpoint to test this, for example, let's go ahead and create an API endpoint to test the get detail. So copy this, paste it here, click on this particular item, and our get detail endpoint is like this. So go to your controller, we can see the detail via this. So it says get detail. So after API items, we need to pass the ID of the item for which we want to see the details. If we click on this, let's use this ID. So we say 102 and send it. 102, we don't get an item. Let's click and see why. It should be there 102, but our API does not return it. Maybe there is a problem. We will see that. But first, let's save this. Once we want to save it, so we click on get detail and then make sure to save it in your collection. Save it. It's saved. And now it refers to the base URL that we created. So now let's go ahead and check why our API is not returning any data. First check if there is an error. There is no error. Clear it. Stop the server. Start in the debug mode. Put an debugger here and also a debugger in the get detail. And now clear it up. Click on send. Debugger stops on the service on the controller first. Click on resume. It stops on the service. So let's go ahead and see what is the output. So here we have the data. Here the optional returns the data. So we have the value in it. But when we go here, alright, here's the problem. We should check not of is empty. If the element present, then we should convert it. But now it is checking for if the element is not present, which is a wrong logic here. So let's change this here. Add not. Let's check for other places here also. If the item is found, Only then we do the update. That's correct. And here, if the item is found, we do the search. And here, if the item, search item by title, if item is not empty. All right. Here we have the logic. Either we can change this. Here we say is empty. We should say is present. Then this is fine. But if we use is empty, then we have to do it not. If when the item is not empty, then we do this. When the item is not empty, then we do this. So either we can use optional dot is present or not is empty. Anything is fine. And I will say is present. I'm showing both ways. Get detail. And here as well. So now let's go ahead and try it out. Let me run it directly because now we found the problem. We know it was the issue. But if you don't find the problem, put a debugger and you will be able to get the problem. Clear it up, click on send, and there we go. We have the item detail available to us. Perfect. So in the next video, we will test the other APIs. Thank you.